Hey everybody, Mel Bell here with your weekly angel reading. Happy post-eclipse day. I hope everything is well with you. Eclipse energy can be tricky. Sometimes it brings up the past. Sometimes it causes things to be released. And sometimes you just walk right through it like nothing happened. I don't know what your experience is, but I hope that it has been a good one, and just breathe through anything that is coming up if it is. So important to breathe. All right, let's go ahead and pull some cards and see what we got going on here. All right, interesting. So we're gonna start with Kyle Gray's angel guide deck. I'll pull a wild card for that. All right, so starting off with cut the cord. Okay, so where in your life may you have been holding on to the past, holding on to someone else's energy? Where do you see in your life that there is a drain? Now, we don't always have to know exactly where the cord is, why it is, or who it's connected to. Sometimes we have to know because there is a process involved. We have to process our feelings. We have to be able to come to terms with how we feel about something before we can let it go. And so sometimes it will be a cord that needs to actually be acknowledged, seen for what it is. But sometimes we can just ask that, in general, please remove any cords that are draining my energy at this time. So you may find that some of the cords can just, because they're just from situations, interactions you've had with somebody else, but there are some cords that are maybe deeply rooted and they are connected to a pain that you need to address first. So up to you to know where that is. But that's the message. And you can ask Archangel Michael to assist you. Some people like to cut their own cords. There are also cord cutting rituals that you can do using candles. So you can look that up if you're interested. And in the situation, trust the universe. So I feel like there are some unknowns that are happening right now. Things are in flux and we're not exactly sure how things might turn out, or there's just a mystery. Like we know something's going to happen, but we don't know what it is. So trusting that all is well. Whatever's coming down the pipeline, whatever's going to happen, however something's going to turn out is for our highest good. And that doesn't always mean that what's going to happen feels good, but eventually we'll be able to look back on it and see that it had to happen exactly that way in order for this great thing to happen. So I don't believe the universe sets us up so that we will suffer. It is not like that. I think that sometimes if we're not doing the work to remove what needs to be removed, the universe will remove it for us, especially if we are speaking our manifestations out and asking for some particular thing, but we're not letting go of this other thing that is obviously blocking this thing that we want. So you also have to be careful with your intentions, because you have your free will. And if you're not ready to let go of this thing, don't challenge the universe to do that for you by asking for something that is interconnected. Hope that makes sense. Incoming energy, honesty, and communication. So there's a time for us to be kind. There's a time for us to be nice. There's also a time for us to understand that something we may say to somebody else may be hurtful, but it's the truth. And if you have to have a difficult conversation, the best you can do is make sure that it comes from your heart, because sometimes we can say things from our heart that that don't feel good to whoever we're saying it to. We want to temper that with compassion and love. You can always ask the angels to please be with you and assist you so that you can have this communication, and ask that the most beneficial outcome comes from it. But it's also important for you to speak your truth and use your voice and say what needs to be said. Sometimes we can be peacekeepers, and we can want to not shake the boat, and keep things nice and smooth going, but that will build resentment. So if something has to be said for your benefit, it needs to be said. So you can sit and you can think about it, and you can be really mindful in the way that you deliver that communication. The challenge is manifestation, and which I think is definitely connected to trusting the universe, because manifestations may not come out the way that you expected, or they may be delayed, or the timing is off, and we have to trust that it is meant to be. Okay, so when you manifest things, you're not manifesting from your ego, you're manifesting from your higher self. You don't often hear people say, I manifested that, and they're talking about something horrible, right? It is because it's aligned with your good. And so keeping in mind, like having a little faith that if something is delayed, that there's a reason for the delay. Whether you understand it consciously or not, that it is for the highest good. Okay? Now, in the future, no. Speaking of answers and questions, questions and answers, I will be pulling a card at the end of this video from the Angels Answers deck. Now, so you can start thinking of your question. So this card to me in this particular reading is talking about how you are not getting what you're asking for. And you might not be happy about that, and you feel like, hey, I'm doing my part. What's up, universe? What's going on? I forgot to light my candle. So that card is another way of interpreting this card is that it's okay for you to not be happy about it. It's okay for you to not like the no. But you can temper that. You can temper that with faith. In faith in the universe, the God and Goddess, God, Jesus, whoever you believe in, however your higher power shows up in your life. But also faith in yourself, and knowing that regardless of whatever is happening, I am capable of getting through this. And we would love things to always be awesome, but they're not always awesome. And sometimes we have to still, that's when your faith is really tested, when things are not awesome. And that's when you have to really dig deep and say, what do I really believe in? Do I still believe in this now that things are not going well? Or is my faith on a really shaky foundation? And why? If that's how you feel, why? And I bring that in too, because above it and the wild card is the Mother and Father God card. So that definitely talks about higher power energy, divine energy, and that challenge of faith. And when you're told no, when you're not getting what you asked for, or it is delayed, because it's not necessarily delayed, and sometimes there's something better. So you know, we're experiencing life with this balance of divine intervention and free will. And we are connecting to the universe, and we are saying, hey, here, you do it. Help me. You help me, because you know the bigger plan. So you've got to have it all together. So I'm allowing you to tell me how to handle this. How am I going to move forward? And then you're like, wait, but why is all this happening? What are you talking about? Like, so there's a balance, there's a dance happening. And always remember that you have your free will. And if something gets too hard for you, or if it's not what you expected, you can step back. You can step back. But I would always go for aligning myself with the divine. But you can choose not to. You can say, I got this. I know I asked for that, but I'm going to go and do it this way instead. All right. So we're going to, that was a lot. My nose is itchy. Sorry. There was a lot in those cards. All right. So I'm going to go a little bit here. I don't know. I think I'll pull 3 from this deck. For sake of time, I know that you guys have a lot to do. I would encourage you that if you are too busy to watch this whole video, pause it and come back to it when you do have time. I like to watch my videos as I wind down for bed. I watched on TV with my cat, Jasper, who likes to be pet all the time. But when I wind down for bed is when he really likes to be pet. And then I watch videos and I'm able to quiet the world, you know, and really listen to the messages. All right, what is the message, angels, from this deck, which is the Archangel Power Tarot cards? You guys please, by Radley Valentine, you guys please do like, share, subscribe. Don't forget that engagement is important and helpful. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. All right. Now we're kind of flipping. Well, we're just going to veer course a little bit here in the messaging. There's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. Well, okay. So perspective. I should have not said that because that's right in alignment with this message. Is that changing your perspective around the situation and how things are going or not going. However this applies to your life. Remember, this is a general reading, so take the messages as they come and resonate with you. And if they don't resonate with you, you can just leave them for someone else. But pause for reflection and insight. So if things are stalled, it is a good time for inner reflection, meditation, breathing, being present in your body, grounding yourself. How can you practice grounding and being in your body? Because a lot of times when things are in flux and we're uncertain, we can be out of our body. And so, and that's easy as eating a really big green leafy salad, or taking a walk around the block, getting into your body, exercising, doing things that are physical body centered. Change your life. A sudden revelation that offers freedom. Break free of procrastination. Embrace the opportunities that change brings. And I feel like what's being said here, you guys, is that something big is going to change in your life. And maybe you should take this this moment to get your bearings and be ready for it. Okay? So no fear here or anything like that, but something great is going to happen. And you have to make sure that you're ready for it, but also ask yourself, is there anywhere in my life right now where I'm procrastinating? And where may I be holding things up on my end? Because sometimes it's not the universe. Sometimes the universe is sitting there tapping its foot, looking at the time and like, well, what are you going to do? And it's up to us. So we have to also discern where, if anywhere, are we not doing what we're supposed to do. And if you don't know what that is, but you have a sinking feeling, or that maybe there's something that you're missing, can always ask the angels to assist you in getting clarity. What is the next best step? Archangel Uriel carries a lantern and will light the next couple of steps ahead of you so that you will be walking. You might not see the full path, but at least you'll know the next right steps. Knight of Ariel, trustworthy, understanding, devoted, and funny. There is so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan, being watched over by someone kind, okay? So, that's a dual message for you. I do feel like there's a person involved. This is somebody who is going to help you. This is someone who may already be helping you. Now, it could be an angel, but it could be a person walking the earth, male or female or non-binary, and they are assisting in your journey. Like, they are a part of the plan. And what is your plan? What is your plan? As far as you can see, what do you want to see? How do you want to see it happen? Not necessarily the pieces, but if you could see your perfect future, what would it look like? If you have to do things and you're overwhelmed because there's a lot to do, make a plan, make a detailed plan, break it up in pieces, categorize it, whatever you have to do to feel better about it so that you're no longer overwhelmed. And let's see, anything else? I feel like I broke out the Archangel Michael Oracle deck. I just want one message from him because I really feel like there's a message there from Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael, thank you for being here with us. Please do, and Archangel Michael is with us because I asked him, as I always do, to put a hedge of protection around all of us while we watch this video, while I do this reading. So Archangel Michael protects the space, and he has an additional message. So we're going to see what that is. Here it is. All right. Have confidence. Whew. Archangel Michael, please lend me your courage and fortitude. Help me realize that I am one with all that is divine. Wisdom, strength, love, creativity, abundance, and health. Allow me confident and peaceful. Allow me to feel confident and peaceful about myself in all ways. Okay, so it's easy to doubt yourself. It's easy to limit yourself. Sometimes it's not so in your face that you don't have confidence. Sometimes it's very covert in the way you might shy away from opportunities because you feel like you're not capable, or it can't work out for you. And so you don't want to, I feel like, is it called pigeonhole? Don't get tunnel vision. Don't get tunnel vision and think this is the only way and this is the only thing I can do. Expand your perspective and see that there's many ways that things can happen that still keep you on the same path. Okay? Maybe that's a little cryptic, esoteric, but that's all I got for you. I'm sorry. Have confidence in yourself and your abilities and what you can learn. So maybe you don't know everything about this thing. That doesn't mean you're not capable of this thing, because you can learn, you can grow. We're always learning and growing if you allow it. So, you know, any opportunities that present itself to you, you are able to take on that challenge and be successful. I want to also mention that both of these cards Both of these cards are Archangel Shamuel, so he's coming in strong here, and you might want to talk to the angel and ask him to please help me with procrastination, help me to embrace any opportunities, help me to not be afraid of change. Where may I be withholding because I'm afraid of change? Because a lot of times we might feel very comfortable in our situation, even though it's not the best situation, but at least we know what to expect. And something new and bright and beautiful might be exactly what we need, and we know that in our heart, but at the same time we're scared because we don't know what it's going to feel like, or if we can count on it. All right, so here's the question. I'm going to clear my mind. I'm not going to ask a question because that'll mess up the answer for everybody else. If you need to pause, go ahead and pause. We're going to ask the angels. This is the last part of our reading. We're going to ask the angels, please, angels, answer the question that is on our heart. Please. I ask that you, angels, please give a very clear answer for us that answers the question that we have on our hearts. Ooh, that flew out. Interesting. All right. I'm going to pull 2 on that. That doesn't make sense. Okay, hold on. Okay, this one flew out, so we'll start with that. Within the next few months. If you were asking when something's going to happen, that's your answer. Timing is a little weird when it comes to the other side and interacting with the physical world, but 3 months, not necessarily 3 months from now. It could be next month, it could be the 2nd month, or it could be a 3rd month, but within that time frame. So maybe there are things that are uncertain right now as far as how the timing is going to really fully work out, but the angels can discern that it's going to happen in the next few months. Now, maybe you didn't ask a question that is asking about when is this going to happen. Maybe you're asking about a relationship or a job or something like that. And I think it's just saying things can also improve in the next few months. Know that it might be a little slow going. Maybe there's someone you need to talk to that is not willing to talk to you, or is not willing to address something. Just know that things will improve as time goes on. And improving health. So if you had something to ask that had to do with your health, know that health is improving. I know from a personal perspective that things are not always do not always happen as quickly as we would like. But in this way, you have to remember that you are dealing with the physical world. The physical world is managed by its own systems, right? Human systems. We are interacting with doctors, food and chemicals and the air, like all sorts of things, right? Then there is the divine, which yes, created the earth, but also has made it that way. And so when there's divine intervention to help us, we still have to deal with the physicality of the world we live in. We still have to deal with the fact that we are humans in a physical body. Even though there is a spirit there, we have to acknowledge and pay attention to our physical body as well. But looking forward to improving health. So may the angels be with you as they always are. And I hope you have a great week. Bye.